everyone, it's Sheila back again. This is Vlogmas Day 3. Had to think there, Get a bit lost with these days. They seem to fly by somehow. But I've done a couple of videos sitting where I'm sitting now, and I keep looking at my settee behind me, and I kept thinking my computer was lopsided or something, because my settee is down and it going up, and I'm thinking that, and I kept turning my computer around, like this, and tried it up on one side and down on the other. And the more I did, it didn't seem to make any difference. And then I suddenly realised it's not lopsided, my settee. You're only looking at it from here is the centre. This is the centre of my settee here, and it has sort of like a hump, and it goes down on each side of the settee. I've only just realised that. So my computer is not lopsided, and I'm thinking the little table it's standing on must be uneven, but it's not. It's me. But anyway, I have a little video for the last thing I made to show you before I tell you anything else. Well, that's a peg bag made for my friend. For my friend's son. Everyone who watches him hanging his washing out will know that he is a Newcastle United supporter. So that's a peg bag for my friend's son. Her whole family is football mad. So when he hangs his washing on the line, everybody, because it has got a little tag on it to hang it on your line, the peg bag. Oh, the whole street's going to know that he's a Newcastle United supporter. I don't support any, I'm not interested in football. Doesn't interest me in the least. Surprise. A lot of us are like that. So nobody will know what football club I support, because I'm going to make myself a peg bag. I've made all them for everybody else, and I haven't got one. I've got an old one that I knitted some years ago, but it's dropping to bits. Could do with a new one. I thought, I'm going to make myself a peg, keep one of those bases for myself and make myself one, because my old one never hung on the line. I had an old little hanger from a child's dress or something, and I snapped the ends off and I put that in, so it had a little hook on, and I used to hang that on the line. But the ends were sharp, and they cut the wool on either side where they were sticking, the way I'd cut the bits. Well, I didn't cut them off, I snapped them off. So I'm definitely going to do myself one, but I'm not bothered at the moment, because it'll be well into next year before I'll be hanging any washing on the line. I don't hang anything out in the winter. It's a waste of time. It's either that cold, it comes in stiff as a board, and then when it softens up, it's soaking just as wet as when you put it out. So unless you have mild weather and a really good wind, that's the only time I would hang anything outside in the winter. So anyway, that was the last order I thought I had, apart from my friends who I'm doing. I do have a one for Belinda, but I wasn't going to start that one till after the new year, because she wants a cardigan, the same pattern as the pink one that I'm doing for myself. Well, I've never done, it's not a pattern out of a book, it's my own pattern, and I've never done any other ones from that pattern. I just sort of started making it up for myself. So I need to knit it up for myself first to work out the number of stitches, and to see that it comes out the right size for myself when I do knit it up. So she's going to have to wait until I finish my own cardigan, because I work it out. Once I've worked it out for my own size, I know whether I have the number of stitches to the inch right, and length and everything and what I have to do. And with it having cables in, it is a very difficult one to work out. So I do like to finish something for myself before I work out before I will do anything else for anybody else when I haven't knitted any of those things, apart from what I've knit for myself. And it's hard to measure until you actually get the back finished. So that's that one anyway. But anyway, my next door neighbour, the young girl who's pregnant, and she's due a baby on the 18th of December. And I'm not sure how long ago it was, maybe it's about a week or more. I gave her the little cardigans I had done for her. I gave her the little cream one with, well, it wasn't cream, it was like a lemon, pale lemon, with the little hat, the one I done the little hat for. I gave her that one as a present off me for the baby, and she just paid me for the other ones. But she did ask me at the time, she said if I could make a white blanket for her, a chunky blanket, she said. And I said, I've got a few orders at the moment. I'm going to have to finish those first, I said, before I start do anything else like that. And I'd forgotten all about it, actually. But I had to go out in my garden this morning because I noticed my gate was open. I knew it wasn't open when I went to bed. So someone's been in my garden. But there was nothing they can, get. They can't go out my garage, it's locked. And they can't go out in my house, it's locked. I do have a door down the side of the house beside the garage, but that is locked and bolted. So whatever someone was in my garden for, I don't know. But I went out into the garden to shut the gate, and the young girl was coming in next door. She had been taking her kids to school. And she asked me about the blanket, and that reminded me on, because I had forgot she had asked me. And she said there was any chance of her, of the blanket she had asked me for. And I said, oh, it's a good job you've just reminded me. I said, I can start one now. I said, I just have one thing I'm knitting for my friend. But I says, I can start the blanket in the morning. So I'm doing the blanket. I'm starting in the morning and doing it all morning until lunchtime, till I have my lunch. And I have had my lunch anyway, and I'm having a cup of tea. And that's just reminded me I've got a cup of tea. Yeah. I keep on talking, it'll be cold when I finish. So I'm doing this now because it is after lunchtime, but I did do a little bit before I saw the young girl next door. I had been doing a little bit of this morning. That's what I'd been knitting when I noticed my gate was, well, I noticed it when I first got up, but just when I remembered to go out and shut the gate, because I don't like the gate left open, because if it gets windy, the wind blows the wind back, it blows the gate backwards and forwards, and I could end up with the, I don't know what you call them, that fastens to the wall, damaged. Anyway, I've done a bit more of the scarf, probably about halfway through the second ball. I've just left that in the middle of put that back in the bag. So that's all I had done of my other thing. I haven't done any more of the green and white blanket. It's a pity the girl hadn't, because I said to her, I'm knitting when she first asked me, I said I was knitting a green and white blanket, a pale green and white blanket. I said if she'd be interested in that, but she said she wanted it all white. So it was a pity I could have sold that green one to her. But anyway, I started. That's what I did this morning after she asked me. I do have a lot of chunky wool. I bought a lot of chunky wool from Knitting Wool Sales. They were selling it very cheap. It had no labels on, but it was Hayfield Bonus, and it was chunky. And I bought a lot of it because I use that chunky like that when I'm doing the bags. I use one strand of the chunky and one strand of another chunky or an Aran or something like that for the a different colour for the bags that I do. So I thought, oh, I've got plenty of that. And it only cost me, I think at the time when I worked it out, because I did buy a lot of bowls, I think I bought about 25. There was 25 bowls in the pack, and it was only £20 for the 25 bowls. I think it worked out about 75 pence a bowl. But then I did have to pay postage, because Knitting Wool Sales, you have to pay postage for anything you get from them. And I think I bought the 2 packs. I think I bought 50 bowls altogether. And then I think I had about £7 something. I worked out it was about just over 90 pence a bowl. Even with the postage on, it was very cheap. And it is good wool. That's how far I've got. I'm doing a... Don't know where you can see, the light's not all that good today, because another one of those very dark days, and it spoils my video. And if I put the light on, that spoils it as well. So I'm hoping that it's okay the way it is. I think I'm going to have to try and get myself a camera where the lighting and all that doesn't affect it, because all of my computers are the same. The lighting, different lights makes the videos look different, spoils some of them. But anyway, you can see the pattern. It's a double moss stitch, but not 2 rows. I'm just, instead of knitting knit 1, purl 1 on 1 row, and then purl 1, knit 1 on the other row, I'm doing knit 2, purl 2, and the next row, where is a knit, I'm doing a purl, and there's a purl, I'm doing a knit. So it's just ordinary moss stitch, but it's 2 stitches instead of 1 stitch. And that's sort of how far I have got there. I'm using my single cabled needle, the 7mm with the 2 single cabled needles for this one, which what I'd been doing for the blue one. I used these on the blue one. Like, the only problem with these, no, where's the other one? These are Addy Flexi Bell, I think they call them. It doesn't matter what I do, that cable will not straighten. I've practically had it in nearly boiling water, and it's when you're knitting it, it's like that, it stays like that. It's not too bad once you've got some weight on, it pulls it down. Otherwise, it's like that completely. But I practically had it in boiling water. I don't know what don't think it's a wire inside. It's just a very strong plastic cable or whatever it's made of. But I've even had it on my ironing board, and I put a tea towel over it and ironed over with a hot iron, and that does straighten it out. But as soon as it cools down, it goes back to that shape again. That annoys me, because it flits about while I'm knitting, and it really gets on my nerves. And I have to say the same thing with these Zing ones. These are the same. They just sort of will not straighten. Those cheap ones I bought, I can get one out. I have a lot of them here. Yeah. And those ones are much better because the metal cables in them. There's a slight curl in them, but not much. They're much better for that. But I can only get up to, when I was first buying them, I could only get up to a 5mm in them. But I did find some larger ones on Temu. I think they had some 5.5 and 6mm ones, but that's the biggest I've been able to find in them. I can't find any like the ones I'm using on the blanket. These are 7mm or 8mm. I can't find any larger ones like that. So I'm just putting up with the annoyance of these ones that won't stay straight. Put them back up there, but I just hang those ones the way they are. I don't curl them up afterwards. Maybe that's why they're like that. But anyway, I started this one for the girl next door, and that's how much I did in the time up to my lunch. So probably from about 10 o'clock to 12. I think it took me a couple of hours to do that little bit. I'm not sure how many rows I had actually done. There was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Done about 20 rows there. I'll have to write that down for another blanket pattern because it's a little bit different. It does look, it does look a little bit different. You can sort of see the lines there where the two different stitches change. That'd be better on a table where my phone shows the stitches up better. I think my phone has a much better quality camera than what my computer has. But anyway, I'm doing what I can of this one to get it finished for my friend, and I'll give her the peg bag on Thursday when I see her. We are going for a meal on Thursday before our bingo, because we normally go the first Thursday in the month for a meal. So it'll be our Christmas meal we're actually going for. It's only me and my friend. I did ask Molly, but she says she thinks it's a little bit too much for her, like for going out, for the meal and that, and then the bingo afterwards and that. So that's enough for today. That's my third Vlogmas day. Thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. Bye for now.